Have you ever heard of that thing where people say F around and you're gonna find out? Well, I messed around and I found out. So what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Alvin MB10, aka AMR10, and what I got for you today is some more NBA 2K26 next gen. I won't lie, I'm getting kind of weird saying next gen just because this console's been out for like 7 years. But yeah, we got some more NBA 2K26 next gen. Now, by the title, the thumbnail, and what's on the screen for you today, what you see is how to make the best small forward build in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, this build comes with the shades of Cooper Flagg, Scottie Pippen, and LeBron James. And the name of the build, if I'm remembering correctly, is High Flying Denier Post Scorer or something along those lines. Let me just put it to you this way. This build is mean. When I originally made this build, it was because I have a point guard build that I've nearly got out of 99 overall. I like to call it my Steph build because it works that time. But I tried to take it into the 1v1 courts, and the one issue I was finding was, even though I have the lateral quickness and everything to stay with people, size beats me no matter what. So I figured, pause, I'm gonna make a small forward build as I always do, because those are the guys who are versatile enough that they can guard from the 1 to the 5 depending on who comes up with them. So that's how I made this build, and this build is basically how you make Cooper Flagg and Miami Heat LeBron James if you really want to. Now, right-handed jersey number, we will be going 23 just because LeBron's jersey number 6 is retired, not because of him. I forgot. I'm pretty sure it's because of Bill Russell, but maybe I'm bugging. Before we get into the whole breakdown of making this build, I do gotta say special thank you to all of you for all the support you showed on the last video, the Paul George build. Coming back, I wasn't too sure what to expect, but I was happy to see that a bunch of you had been waiting for the boy to come back, and also glad to see the boy come back. So thank you. I do gotta say, if you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more content like this, let's try and get at least 10 likes on this one. We're really trying to get back into this, and I need you guys to push this video out, because yeah, I'm playing a lot of 2K26 this year. I want to put up some more gameplay. I'll most likely live stream it just because editing it and chopping it up is a lot. But if you want to see more stuff like that, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel and you haven't done so yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn post notifications on, because again, it keeps you notified every time I upload. And as I have promised, we get 10 likes on this vid, another vid drops next week. And down below in the comment section, I enjoy interacting with you guys, so let me know what you think about this build. Is this something you'd mess with, or is this something you wouldn't? Is it too much? Is it too little? And then obviously also let me know any other builds that you might want to see me make on the channel. Now, starting off with, this is a small forward build coming in at 6'10", weighing about 208 pounds whilst having a 7-foot wingspan. Now, with making this build, I had a bunch of things that I really wanted to make and be key with. The first one is I needed this build to be able to defend. If I'm taking this onto the 1v1 courts, like any build can go onto a 5s court and be hidden with no defense, but if you're playing the 1s, you need defense. So I started off with an 82 on the interior defense. If I quickly pull up the badges, I decided to go with an 83 on the perimeter defense, a 73 on the steal, which obviously allows me to get silver interceptor, an 84 on the block, and then I'm gonna fill out the physicals just because this also helps in showing out what I specifically wanted to do when it came to defensive badges, because yeah, I was really trying my hardest with this build to make it as unstoppable as I possibly could. So if we quickly round that up, first thing to point out here is, before we get into any of the key defensive attributes themselves, I maxed out the agility. People keep getting it confused between high speed and high agility. You want a high agility over a high speed. Like, speed kills, don't get it twisted. Fast break, you're gone. Ain't nobody catching you. But the issue is, if you want to play defense, you need agility. As the description says, which most people don't read, without the ball affects how fast a player can accelerate, move in short bursts, and move laterally. This is your ability to recover on defense when you're beat, your ability to shuffle your feet left to right when you're really just trying to stay in front of a defender, and generally just be able to, it's your explosiveness. If you want to be explosive, not vertically, but horizontally, laterally, and just horizontally, you need a high agility. A high speed is clutch, but it only works in how fast you can run or sprint around the court without the ball. It doesn't affect how quickly you can change directions. That's why you need a high agility. That's why I did it the way I did it. But back to the defensive setup, I decided to go with an 82 on the interior defense because, as you can see, that allows me to get silver paint patroller and silver post lockdown. These will help me coming up against 5s, 4s, and 3s who might try and post me up, because again, it'll be hard to take me to the rim with this high of an interior defense, as well as the high strength of a 79. Perimeter defense wise, I would have wanted to get on-ball menace by making this build 6'9", but the main reason I made it 6'10" was originally I was trying to make a Kevin Durant build, and this is what I came up with. But either way, I'm happy to not have on-ball menace just because it allows me to get silver challenger, silver pick dodger, bronze immovable enforcer, and gold off-ball pest. Steal wise, as I said, I was aiming for silver interceptor. I would have aimed for a higher version of glove, but being completely honest with you, playing this game as much as I have so far, because I've put hours, When I say hours, I mean hours. Not the hours that some dudes are making whereby they don't sleep, but if you want to quickly see it, I have put in 88 hours in this game. And in my time playing, I've seen myself like literally poke the ball loose maybe 10 times. Mind you, I have like an 80-something steal on my point guard build. So that's a lie, I have a 77. I'm not rocking with a high steal. I'm just playing interceptor and also bump steals because yeah, I get a lot of steals, but I get a lot of steals from playing passing lanes and bumping people. Block-wise, I went with an 84 because again, I wanted high-flying denier and paint patroller at least a silver because if I'm playing the ones or anything else, I need to be able to defend. Now, on the side of also being able to defend, I decided the next thing I needed on this build was the ability to shoot. So firstly, I gave the build a 90 on the mid-range jump shot, maxing it out. This was mainly because I knew I wouldn't be able to get a high 3 with how I put all the other attributes. So the big part of my game would be playing in the mid-range. So I wanted to get at least silver deadeye, gold set shot specialist, silver shifty shooter, but then the other badge I wanted to get, which isn't highlighted right now, is that post fade phenom. Now the way about going about this was I decided to give myself an 87 on the post control. Now as you can see, that gives me gold post up poet, silver hook specialist, unpluckable post powerhouse, and Hall of Fame post fade phenom. One thing that's OP in this game is fading out the high post, insane. So I decided to go with a high ability just because that badge right there is going to make it a lot easier for me to make those shots. And then to pair it up with, in case people are able to stop me in the mid-range whereby they're literally doubling me or sending help anytime I get there, I decided to put an 81 on this build's 3-point shot because it means you're capable of shooting the 3. Anything above an 80, you can knock down the 3 in this game. I'm not gonna lie, I got one base jumper I use. Thing is money. I start off with like a 20% 3 on my point guard build, switch to this specific jump shot. I'm at about a 45 right now. I've been waking my way back up. I'm gonna get up to a 60. We will see this. And then the last thing I put on this build was an 80 on the free throw, 81 to be precise, because if I take this build into the rec or the pro-am, I want to have the ability to knock down free throws. I don't want to be a liability where late in the game people can't give me the ball because the fear is you can't knock them down. So I gave it an 81 on the free throw. Next thing to do was the finishing. Now when it comes to finishing, I always have one rule that a lot of you should follow, which is you can either have a high driving layup or a high driving dunk. You can't have both, mainly because when you're attacking the rim, you either lay the ball up or you dunk it. You don't find yourself in a situation where you do both at the same time. Like, unlike with mid-range and 3-point shot where you can have high on both and basically play through both, with the dunk and the layup, you'll rarely ever find those situations. So because I put the vertical up to a 78, which was mainly to do with the driving dunk, I decided for this build I'm going high driving dunk, mainly because last year I was using the dunk meter like crazy, and I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't missing. So this year I intend to do the same thing with my small forward build again, so I decided to give this build an 89 on the driving dunk. Key reason being, if I quickly pull up the animations, this allows you the ability to get both pro contacts off 2 as well as pro contacts off 1. Now, of course, you also get things like 360s off 1, all sorts of crazy dunks that you can pull off in the city, as well as generally all sorts of dunks you can pull off in the game. But my main thing was I wanted pro contacts off 2 and off 1, because sometimes the game will glitch you into whereby you're going off 2, and yeah, you're lucky to get a contact off that, but majority of times you're going off 1, so you want to make sure at the very least you can get pro contacts off 1. Now, I also decided to put my driving layup up to a 70. This was mainly because I just wanted that physical finisher at a bronze, because if I do find myself in a situation where the game tries to screw me, I want to be able to basically bail myself out of the situation, and the 70 driving layup is enough for someone like me to get that layup off. Now, the last bits to this build were playmaking and rebounding. Before going to rebounding, my first focus is playmaking. I don't intend to be on the glass too much. If it's a situation where I'm playing the ones, as you know, on the ones courts online, or at least within the proving grounds or any competitive mode, you're not allowed rebounds. It's one possession and done. You either score and you keep the ball, or you miss and you switch possessions. So for me, rebounding was the last of my worries. Next thing was playmaking. I decided to go with a 75 when it comes to ball handle, just because it does mean I get ankle assassin at bronze, handles for days at bronze, and of course I get gold strong handle and silver unpluckable. Speed with ball, decided to put this all the way up to a 68. I would have loved to go higher to like a 75 to get the bronze lightning launch, but unfortunately, in order to be able to do that, I need to decrease the height of the build, in which case I wasn't going to be able to do it, so I left it at 68. And then pass accuracy, originally I'd left this at a 75, but I moved this all the way up to a 76 just because it allows you to get silver versatile visionary. I want to highlight, the same way we highlighted agility, I have to highlight versatile visionary. Now, pass accuracy as an attribute on its own determines how accurate your pass is. As it says, ability to throw the ball on target in all types of passing situations such as bounce, chest, lob, overhead, flashy, and alley-oop passes. But versatile visionary improves the ability to thread and fit tight passes, including alley-oops, quickly and on time. So if you're in a situation where you want to be able to throw quicker passes, like harder passes and all that, because you'll find yourself in often the game makes it so that you throw a pass that's a bit of a loft pass that is easily intercepted. You want versatile visionary as high as you can get it. This badge right here improves your passing to a level that is insane. With this badge equipped, your passes are more accurate, a lot faster, and a lot easier to get off. So that's why with this build, I wanted to get that at least silver. And then to round up, I decided to go with a 68 on the defensive rebound and a 53 on the offensive rebound. Mainly because, as I said, if I'm playing the 5s, I'm mainly down there to help the 5 and the 4 rebound, in which case I'm a last resort, so I don't need that high of a rebounding. And if I'm playing the 1s, there's no need for me to be rebounding because, again, it switches on possessions. So it is what it is. This is the build as a whole. As you can see, there's no real flaws to the build when it comes to finishing, shooting, playmaking, defense, physicals. The only flaw might be rebounding, but again, you're not meant to rebound with this build. You're not going to be in any game mode where people will require you to rebound. But I know I've been saying a lot that makes it sound like maybe lowering the height of the build might be a little bit better because, 6'9" might help you. But I wouldn't do that because at 6'10", you make yourself a severe mismatch for majority of people that you come up against because you'll always be taller or considerably taller than them. And then with the speed that we have on the build, you're quick enough to keep up with the shorter guys. But as I promised you, in the shades of, we do get LeBron James, 97-98 Scottie Pippen, and Cooper Flagg, and the name of the build is a high-flying mid-post eraser. Now, our go-to badges are Aerial Wizard, Post-Fade Phenom, and Set Shot Specialist, which obviously means that we're a scoring machine. And our top attributes are mid-range shot, driving dunk, post control, strengths being we're a mid-range sniper, effortless elevation in traffic. You know what that means, man. We catching bodies. Elite chase down blocker, under control post scorer, and the only weakness we have on the build is it has no feel for rebounding position. But fortunately for me, I do. So hopefully you guys love this build because I'm no money spending this build right now. I'm gonna make this build, I'm gonna max it out, and we're gonna get it out there, and hopefully I can get some content to you, whether that's streaming or not. But I'm gonna no money spend this build. But if you enjoyed the build, let me know down below in the comments. If you enjoyed today's video and enjoyed to see more content like this, don't forget to hit that like button and turn, you know what I'm saying? And then if you want to see more content on the channel, subscribe, turn post notifications on because I will be uploading at least weekly. But yeah, it's been your boy Alvin MB10, aka AMR10. I'll catch you in a bit. Deuces.